As Marcus Aurelius once said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. What if you could harness that power to change your life for the better? Have you ever found yourself staring at a daunting task, feeling paralyzed by the weight of your own thoughts? You're not alone. Many of us struggle with the inertia that comes from indecision and fear. But what if I told you that the key to overcoming this paralysis lies not in waiting for motivation to strike, but in taking immediate action? This is where Stoic philosophy offers profound insights. The Stoics believed that our thoughts and judgments about situations often create unnecessary barriers that prevent us from acting. They taught that the impediment to action advances action. In other words, what stands in the way becomes the way. This powerful principle encourages us to confront our fears head-on rather than allowing them to dictate our lives. Imagine waking up each day with a clear intention to act, regardless of how you feel. The Stoics emphasized the importance of recognizing what is within our control and focusing our efforts there. When we accept that we cannot control external circumstances, we free ourselves from the anxiety that often accompanies inaction. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment or the right emotions to align, we can choose to act based on our values and principles. This shift in mindset is crucial. Rather than seeing action as a daunting task, we can view it as an opportunity for growth and learning. Each small step we take builds momentum, creating a positive feedback loop that encourages further action. This is where the concept of the dichotomy of control comes into play. The Stoics taught us to differentiate between what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, and what we cannot control, external events and outcomes. By focusing solely on our actions, we empower ourselves to take charge of our lives. Furthermore, embracing discomfort is a key tenet of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics understood that growth often comes from pushing through discomfort and facing challenges directly. When we force ourselves to take action, even when we don't feel like it, we build resilience and strength. This resilience becomes a powerful ally in our journey towards achieving our goals. So the next time you find yourself hesitating, remember the wisdom of the Stoics. Instead of waiting for the perfect conditions, take a deep breath and commit to a small action. Whether it's starting that project you've been putting off or simply organizing your workspace, every action counts. By forcing yourself to take action, you not only overcome procrastination, but also align yourself with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with your values. In the journey of personal growth, discomfort is often seen as an enemy, something to be avoided at all costs. However, Stoic philosophy flips this notion on its head. The Stoics understood that discomfort is not only a natural part of life, but also a necessary catalyst for growth and progress. When we embrace discomfort, we open ourselves up to new experiences and opportunities that can lead to profound transformation. The Stoics believed that facing challenges head-on cultivates resilience. Each time we step outside our comfort zone, we strengthen our ability to endure hardships. This is crucial because life is inherently unpredictable, filled with obstacles that can derail our plans. By regularly pushing ourselves into uncomfortable situations, we prepare ourselves for the inevitable challenges that lie ahead. Imagine waking up every day with the mindset to welcome discomfort, rather than shy away from it. This shift in perspective allows us to view challenges as opportunities for learning, rather than threats to our well-being. The Stoics practiced this through various exercises, such as voluntary discomfort, where they would intentionally expose themselves to discomfort to build mental toughness. This could be as simple as taking a cold shower or fasting for a day. These practices were not just about enduring hardship for its own sake, but about training the mind to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity. When we learn to accept discomfort, we also learn to manage our emotions better. Instead of reacting impulsively to fear or anxiety, we can approach situations with a clear mind, grounded in the understanding that discomfort is temporary and often leads to growth. Furthermore, embracing discomfort fosters a sense of courage. When we confront our fears directly, we diminish their power over us. The very act of taking action in the face of discomfort can be liberating, breaking the chains of procrastination and indecision. As we become more comfortable with discomfort, we find that our capacity for action expands. We begin to take on challenges that once seemed insurmountable, building confidence in our abilities. The Stoics remind us that true fulfillment comes not from avoiding discomfort, but from engaging with it fully. So, the next time you feel the urge to retreat into your comfort zone, pause and reflect. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this discomfort? By reframing your perspective, you can transform discomfort into a powerful tool for personal growth. Embrace the challenges that come your way, for they are the stepping stones to a more resilient and empowered version of yourself. One of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy is the concept of the dichotomy of control. This principle teaches us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. In a world filled with uncertainties and external pressures, understanding this distinction is vital for maintaining our mental well-being and driving us to take action. The Stoics believe that our thoughts, actions, and reactions are within our control, while external events, the opinions of others and outcomes are not. This realization can be incredibly liberating. When we focus our energy on what we can control, we free ourselves from the anxiety and frustration that often accompany situations beyond our influence. For instance, consider a project at work that relies on the collaboration of others. You may not be able to control how your colleagues perform or the external factors affecting the project, but you can control your effort, your attitude, and how you respond to challenges. By concentrating on your contributions, you empower yourself to take meaningful action. This principle encourages us to take responsibility for our actions and decisions without becoming overly attached to the results. The Stoics understood that while we can strive for success, we cannot guarantee it. This acceptance allows us to act with integrity and purpose, regardless of the outcome. By letting go of the need for control over results, we can approach tasks with a sense of freedom and creativity. Moreover, the dichotomy of control helps reduce procrastination. When we feel overwhelmed by the fear of failure or the pressure to achieve a specific outcome, we may hesitate to take action. However, by focusing solely on our efforts rather than the end result, we can alleviate that pressure and encourage ourselves to start. For example, if you aim to write a book, instead of fixating on the final product, concentrate on writing a certain number of words each day. This shift in focus makes the task feel more manageable and less daunting. Additionally, the Stoics practiced negative visualization, a technique where they would contemplate the worst-case scenarios. This practice allowed them to prepare mentally for challenges while appreciating what they had. By recognizing that many external factors are beyond our control, we cultivate gratitude for our current circumstances and the ability to act. In summary, the dichotomy of control is a powerful tool for fostering resilience and encouraging action. By concentrating on what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and responses, we empower ourselves to take decisive steps forward. Embrace this principle and let it guide you in your journey towards personal growth and fulfillment. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the idea of cultivating a growth mindset. This concept emphasizes the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work. The Stoics understood that setbacks and failures are not the end but rather essential components of the learning process. By adopting a growth mindset, we can transform our approach to challenges and take action with confidence. The Stoics taught that our perceptions shape our reality. When we encounter obstacles, we can choose to view them as insurmountable barriers or as opportunities for growth. This choice is crucial. Instead of feeling defeated by setbacks, we can embrace them as valuable lessons. For instance, if you fail to achieve a goal, instead of wallowing in disappointment, reflect on what you can learn from the experience. This shift in perspective allows us to approach challenges with curiosity and resilience. Furthermore, cultivating a growth mindset encourages us to seek feedback and learn from others. The Stoics valued the wisdom of their peers and mentors, recognizing that collaboration and shared experiences can enhance our understanding. By surrounding ourselves with individuals who challenge and inspire us, we create an environment conducive to growth. This community support can be invaluable when we face difficulties. In addition to seeking external feedback, it's essential to engage in self-reflection. Regularly assessing our thoughts, actions, and motivations helps us identify areas for improvement. The Stoics practice journaling as a means of self-examination, allowing them to process their experiences and gain insights into their behavior. This practice fosters accountability and encourages us to take ownership of our actions. Another crucial aspect of a growth mindset is the willingness to take risks. The Stoics believed that growth often requires stepping into the unknown. When we force ourselves to take action, even when it feels uncomfortable, we expand our capabilities. This willingness to embrace uncertainty is a hallmark of personal development. Remember that every great achievement begins with the decision to try. As you cultivate a growth mindset, celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge the effort you put into each task, and recognize that growth is a journey, not a destination. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you can find joy in the act of learning and growing. In conclusion, adopting a growth mindset is essential for taking action and overcoming challenges. Embrace setbacks as opportunities for learning, seek feedback from others, and engage in self-reflection. By doing so, you'll empower yourself to take bold steps forward on your path to personal growth. Discipline is a fundamental principle in Stoic philosophy, serving as the backbone for taking consistent action. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from self-discipline, allowing us to align our actions with our values and goals. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, cultivating discipline is essential for staying focused and committed to our pursuits. The Stoics understood that discipline is not merely about rigid adherence to rules, but rather about developing the ability to make choices that serve our long-term interests. It involves setting clear intentions and following through, even when motivation wanes. This commitment to discipline empowers us to take action consistently, regardless of external circumstances. One effective way to cultivate discipline is through the establishment of routines. Routines create a structured environment that fosters productivity and minimizes decision fatigue. By incorporating daily habits that align with our goals, we create a framework that supports our efforts. For example, if your goal is to write a book, establish a daily writing routine that prioritizes this task. By committing to a specific time each day, you train your mind to focus on writing, making it easier to take action consistently. Additionally, the Stoics practiced the concept of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This practice involves anticipating potential obstacles and challenges before they arise. By mentally preparing for difficulties, we can strengthen our resolve and enhance our discipline. When we encounter setbacks, we are less likely to be thrown off course because we have already considered these possibilities. Furthermore, discipline is closely tied to the concept of delayed gratification. The Stoics understood that immediate pleasures often distract us from our long-term goals. By exercising self-control and resisting short-term temptations, we position ourselves for greater rewards in the future. This principle is particularly relevant in today's fast-paced world, where instant gratification is readily available. Practicing delayed gratification can involve making conscious choices, such as prioritizing work over leisure or investing time in personal development instead of succumbing to distractions. As you cultivate discipline, it's important to practice self-compassion. Understand that setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Rather than berating yourself for perceived failures, acknowledge that discipline is a skill that takes time to develop. Celebrate your progress and remain committed to your goals, even when faced with challenges. In summary, discipline is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy that empowers us to take consistent action. By establishing routines, anticipating obstacles, and practicing delayed gratification, we can cultivate the self-discipline necessary to achieve our goals. Embrace discipline as a powerful ally on your journey towards personal growth and fulfillment. Reflection is a vital practice in Stoic philosophy, serving as a tool for self-awareness and personal growth. The Stoics believed that taking time to reflect on our thoughts, actions, and experiences allows us to gain valuable insights into our behavior and motivations. By engaging in regular reflection, we can better understand ourselves, identify areas for improvement, and reinforce our commitment to taking action. One of the most effective ways to incorporate reflection into our lives is through journaling. The Stoics often kept journals to record their thoughts and experiences, providing a space for contemplation and self-examination. Journaling allows us to articulate our feelings, clarify our goals, and track our progress over time. By writing down our thoughts, we create a tangible record that we can revisit, helping us to recognize patterns in our behavior and thought processes. In addition to journaling, setting aside dedicated time for reflection each day can enhance our self-awareness. This could involve a few quiet moments in the morning or evening where we contemplate our actions, decisions, and emotions. During this time, we can ask ourselves important questions. What went well today? What challenges did I face? How did I respond to those challenges? This practice fosters a deeper understanding of our reactions and helps us recognize areas where we can improve. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of learning from our mistakes. Rather than dwelling on failures, they encouraged us to analyze what went wrong and how we can adjust our approach moving forward. This mindset transforms setbacks into opportunities for growth, allowing us to take more informed action in the future. Additionally, reflection helps us align our actions with our values. By regularly assessing whether our choices are in harmony with our principles, we can make adjustments as needed. This alignment is crucial for maintaining motivation and ensuring that we are working towards goals that truly resonate with us. As we cultivate the practice of reflection, it's essential to approach it with a spirit of curiosity rather than judgment. Instead of criticizing ourselves for perceived shortcomings, we should view reflection as an opportunity for learning and self-improvement. This compassionate approach allows us to embrace our imperfections and encourages us to take action without fear of failure. In conclusion, reflection is a powerful tool in the Stoic tradition that fosters self-awareness and personal growth. By incorporating journaling and dedicated reflection time into our lives, we can gain valuable insights into our behavior and motivations. Embrace the practice of reflection as a means of aligning your actions with your values and continuously improving yourself on your journey toward fulfillment. Taking responsibility for our actions is a fundamental aspect of Stoic philosophy. The Stoics believe that true empowerment comes from acknowledging our role in shaping our lives and accepting the consequences of our choices. By embracing responsibility, we cultivate a sense of agency that drives us to take action and pursue our goals with intention. In a world where it's easy to blame external circumstances or other people for our challenges, the Stoics remind us that we have the power to choose our responses. This principle is encapsulated in the idea that while we cannot control external events, we can control our reactions to them. When we take responsibility for our actions, we empower ourselves to make conscious choices rather than being passive participants in our lives. This mindset shift encourages us to reflect on our decisions and consider how they align with our values and goals. For instance, if we find ourselves facing obstacles in our careers, instead of attributing our struggles to external factors, we should examine our actions and identify areas where we can improve. This proactive approach fosters a sense of ownership over our circumstances. Moreover, taking responsibility involves recognizing the impact of our choices on others. The Stoics believed in the interconnectedness of humanity, emphasizing that our actions have consequences that extend beyond ourselves. By acknowledging this interconnectedness, we can approach our relationships with greater empathy and consideration. This awareness encourages us to act with integrity and to be mindful of how our decisions affect those around us. Another important aspect of responsibility is learning to accept mistakes. The Stoics understood that no one is perfect, and that errors are a natural part of the human experience. Instead of shying away from our mistakes, we should confront them head-on, analyzing what went wrong and how we can learn from the experience. This willingness to learn from failure not only fosters personal growth, but also strengthens our resolve to take action in the future. Additionally, taking responsibility means setting realistic expectations for ourselves. While it's essential to strive for excellence, we must also recognize our limitations. The Stoics taught that we should aim for progress rather than perfection. By setting achievable goals and being kind to ourselves in the process, we create a supportive environment that encourages action. In summary, Taking responsibility is a key principle of Stoic philosophy that empowers us to shape our lives through conscious choices. By acknowledging our role in our circumstances, reflecting on our actions, and learning from our mistakes, we cultivate a sense of agency that drives us to take action. Embrace the power of responsibility as you navigate your journey toward personal growth and fulfillment. In Stoic philosophy, the concept of community plays a crucial role in our personal growth and ability to take action. The Stoics believed that humans are inherently social beings, and our connections with others significantly influence our well-being and development. By fostering a sense of community, we can draw strength, support, and wisdom from those around us, enhancing our capacity to act with purpose and intention. One of the key aspects of community is the idea of mutual support. When we surround ourselves with individuals who share our values and aspirations, we create an environment that encourages growth and accountability. This supportive network can inspire us to take action, especially during challenging times. For example, if you're pursuing a fitness goal, having a workout buddy can motivate you to stay committed and push through obstacles together. Moreover, engaging with a community allows us to learn from the experiences of others. The Stoics emphasize the importance of seeking wisdom from those who have walked similar paths. By sharing our challenges and successes, we gain valuable insights that can inform our own actions. This exchange of knowledge fosters a culture of learning, where we can collectively navigate the complexities of life. Additionally, community provides opportunities for collaboration. When we work together towards a common goal, we amplify our efforts and resources. The Stoics recognize that collective action can lead to greater outcomes than individual pursuits. Another vital aspect of community is accountability. When we share our goals with others, we create a sense of responsibility to follow through. This external accountability can be a powerful motivator, pushing us to take action even when our internal motivation wanes. For instance, if you announce your intention to start a new project to friends or family, their encouragement and support can help keep you on track. However, it's essential to choose our communities wisely. Surrounding ourselves with individuals who uplift and inspire us is crucial for our growth. The Stoics warned against associating with those who perpetuate negativity or hinder our progress. Instead, seek out communities that align with your values and encourage you to strive for your best self. In conclusion, the value of community in Stoic philosophy cannot be overstated. By fostering supportive relationships, learning from others, collaborating on shared goals, and embracing accountability, we enhance our capacity to take action and grow. Embrace the power of community as you navigate your journey toward personal fulfillment and empowerment. A fundamental principle of Stoic philosophy is the idea of living in accordance with nature. This concept emphasizes the importance of aligning our actions with the natural order of the universe and our inherent human nature. By understanding and embracing this alignment, we can cultivate a sense of purpose and take meaningful action in our lives. Living in accordance with nature involves recognizing the interconnectedness of all things. The Stoics believed that everything in the universe is part of a greater whole, and our actions should reflect this understanding. By acknowledging our place within this larger context, we can develop a sense of humility and gratitude, which fuels our motivation to act in ways that contribute positively to the world around us. Moreover, the Stoics taught that our true nature is rooted in reason and virtue. As rational beings, we have the capacity to make choices that reflect our values and principles. By practicing virtue, such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, we align ourselves with our true nature and cultivate a sense of fulfillment. This alignment empowers us to take action that is not only beneficial to ourselves but also to others. In addition, living in accordance with nature means accepting the natural flow of life. The Stoics emphasized the importance of accepting what we cannot control, including the challenges and uncertainties that arise. By cultivating an attitude of acceptance, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and anxiety, allowing us to focus on the actions we can take in response to our circumstances. Furthermore, the Stoics advocated for mindfulness of the present moment. Living in accordance with nature requires us to be fully present, appreciating the beauty and opportunities that each moment offers. When we practice mindfulness, We become more attuned to our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings, enabling us to take intentional action rather than react impulsively. Finally, embracing the natural rhythms of life can enhance our well-being. The Stoics recognize the importance of balance and harmony in our lives. By aligning our actions with the natural cycles of work and rest, activity and reflection, we create a sustainable approach to personal growth. This balance allows us to take action without burning out or losing sight of our values. In summary, living in accordance with nature is a central tenet of Stoic philosophy that empowers us to take meaningful action. By recognizing our interconnectedness, practicing virtue, accepting what we cannot control, cultivating mindfulness, and embracing balance, we align ourselves with our true nature. Embrace this principle as you navigate your journey toward personal fulfillment and purposeful action. The Stoics believe that perspective is one of the most powerful tools we have for navigating life's challenges and taking meaningful action. Our thoughts and interpretations of events shape our experiences, and by cultivating a Stoic perspective, we can transform how we respond to adversity and opportunities alike. Understanding perspective. At its core, perspective involves how we perceive and interpret the world around us. The Stoics taught that our judgments about events rather than the events themselves determine our emotional responses. For instance, two people may face the same setback, such as losing a job, but one may view it as a devastating failure, while the other sees it as an opportunity for growth and new beginnings. This difference in interpretation can significantly affect their subsequent actions and overall well-being. Reframing challenges. One of the key practices in cultivating a Stoic perspective is reframing challenges. Instead of viewing obstacles as insurmountable barriers, we can choose to see them as opportunities for learning and growth. This shift in mindset allows us to approach difficulties with curiosity and resilience. For example, if you encounter criticism, rather than taking it personally, consider it as constructive feedback that can help you improve. By reframing challenges, we empower ourselves to take proactive steps toward overcoming them. The practice of negative visualization. Another Stoic technique for enhancing perspective is negative visualization. This practice involves contemplating potential losses or challenges we might face, allowing us to prepare mentally for adversity. By imagining worst-case scenarios, we can cultivate gratitude for what we have and reduce the fear of loss. This practice also helps us develop resilience as we become more accustomed to facing difficulties in our minds before they occur. Focusing on what matters. The Stoics emphasize the importance of focusing on what truly matters. When we adopt a broader perspective, we can better prioritize our actions and decisions. By aligning our efforts with our core values and long-term goals, we create a sense of purpose that drives us to take meaningful action. For instance, if your goal is to build strong relationships, you might choose to invest your time and energy in nurturing those connections rather than getting caught up in trivial matters. Acceptance and letting go. A crucial aspect of perspective in Stoicism is the acceptance of what we cannot control. By recognizing the limits of our influence, we can let go of unnecessary stress and anxiety. This acceptance allows us to focus our energy on the aspects of our lives that we can change, empowering us to take action with clarity and purpose. The Stoics taught that true freedom comes from understanding what lies within our control and what does not, enabling us to navigate life's uncertainties with grace. Conclusion. In conclusion, the power of perspective is a central theme in Stoic philosophy that can significantly impact our ability to take action and respond to life's challenges. By reframing obstacles, practicing negative visualization, focusing on what matters, and accepting what we cannot control, we cultivate a resilient mindset that empowers us to act with intention. Embrace the power of perspective as you navigate your journey toward personal growth and fulfillment, transforming challenges into opportunities for learning and development.